All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, we got a little bit of a late start there. I have Kip with me today. So, right, buddy. So we'll see. He's in his little bouncer thing right now. So we'll see how long that lasts before he's back up. So you guys hear a little voice. That's who's with us today. Neuro, thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right. So let's dive in. Just because, again, I may have to speed through today with a little guy. Um, Obviously, currency market dollar CAD is the biggest down. Um, and again, all the CPI data kind of justified right now, right? Other CPI data kind of blew it out of the water. So again, kind of one of those justified things. It really started moving last night. Um, why not have Kip run the class? Well, he likes to bang on the keyboard, Neuro, but I can't. You know, when he's banging on the keyboard, there's no way to control what window we go to. So I feel like he would probably shut it off more than anything else, or just I would have no idea how to ever get back to it. So, um, we talked about breaking the keyboards and that kind of stuff. Um, he's definitely more in line with that. He's all about banging the keyboard. He's like, oh, you're typing, okay. So he's a little crazy. He gets very excited to hit the keyboard though, so we have to get him his own keyboard because he'll break mine. Um, so yeah. Anyway, but again, great Canadian data. Great for the currency, not great for the people living there. You've seen 113 in the dollar CAD as the biggest mover. The yen obviously moving around a little bit. We're seeing really dollar weakness across the board. And again, it's still kind of each day that ticks through. Bullard's saying all the right stuff, but we're hearing nothing else. So I think that's kind of why we're getting a little bit of weakness there, as well as we're seeing money drive back into the equity. So euro pound, again, a little pound strength coming in. That's why we're seeing it over here. But obviously, pound yen 0 in 24 hours. It had a big spike up, big retrace back down again, as the yen is still. It's funny, they've changed the tone a little bit, but in reality, it hasn't changed at all, right? Karoba said last week, hey, you know, week is actually good for us, but 130 is too much. And then the guy today, Suzuki or whatever, said, um, his comment was basically, hey, yeah, you know, unfortunately, when it gets too weak, it hurts us, which is the exact same thing. They're just kind of highlighting, um, kind of the I don't want to say the main point, but like they're highlighting different points in the same exact sentence. Yes, they said before that too weak is also a problem. Um, no different than what we got before, but we're seeing it kind of bounce up. And again, it did have a big rally. We talked about shorting it on a type of rally, and again, did drop. Did come all the way back down again. Um, Netflix was a big thing that kind of controlled the market yesterday as well, but it's kind of one of these bad as good type scenarios. Um, Again, is it bad that Netflix had less subscribers? No. I mean, if people are not stuck at home, if they're actually leaving their houses and going out and doing things, um, yeah, they're just shifting. So it's not a sign of what's coming in the economy. It's a sign of people trying to get out of their homes because they're tired of staying at home. That's it. No difference. I mean, it's not bad. Again, bad for Netflix, right? But you know, not overall necessarily bad for the economy. We do have home sales coming in at 10. That'll be interesting. I mean, it's lower than it was before. Not necessarily the biggest market mover, but we don't have a whole lot there today. We do have the G20 meeting, so we'll see kind of if there's any headlines that come of the G20 meeting. Um, Maybe we get something. Typically day one you don't get as many comments, but you never know. Like I said, I'm sure it's going to be more Russian bashing. Um, they're going to bash Russia for their what is it, unprovoked attack. Um, is what they're going to say. Germany's comments were pretty hysterical. If you watch if you want part of the other presentation, I love this one. We've delivered a large number of weapons, but we haven't publicly disclosed it. Okay, well you just did. And us delivering weapons does not make us a part of the war. Not exactly. I mean, it's like I said, the analogy I said is if you drive the guy to the bank to rob it, right? You're an accomplice. An accomplice makes you part of it. If you are funding them with weapons that they didn't have before to fight, then you are in the war. You just haven't sent human lives, but you've sent weapons. You are part of the war. So, and that's if I was Russian, that's exactly how I would take it. I'm like, it's I'm gonna call some bull right on this one. If you are providing a means to support the war, it's no different. Like if you support terrorism, you are part of terrorism. It's the same thing. if you are supporting them with the weapons, you're part of the war. You just haven't sent human lives in there. You're part of it. So yeah, Germany's gonna. I feel bad for Germany. Germany's kind of like stuck in the middle of this whole thing. Like they're like, we need your gas. You're bad people, but we need your gas. So yeah. Unfortunately, I believe that Russia is gonna make an example of Germany. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you want our gas? It's off, done, can't have it. No soup for you." Is really what's gonna happen in Germany. So, yeah, we'll see. Oh, but although in reality, like I said, I don't want any suffering for anybody in Germany, but for the entire European Union coming out of the pandemic, um, a weaker Germany actually does help the European Union more. Because they would have recovered much much faster than all the other nations, and then we run back into the same problems we had a couple years ago with Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain with recession. So you know, inflation is returning to its 2% goal, increasingly unlikely. Here you go, ECB. Yeah, getting back to the 2% is increasingly unlikely, right? Third quarter. Okay, that's okay. At says, let's see, Nagel says stagflation scenario must be avoided. So there's the stagflation word again, and again, I think stagflation is something that we will definitely see. But again, it's nice that nice that they're talking about how it's not going to return. It's probably unlikely, and we need to do something. So, but hey, we got a timeline again, right? Which is also good. Are you talking? If you guys can hear that or not, it doesn't look like it's not registering, but when I'm talking, it may not filter it out. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's registering, but yeah, he's talking up a storm over here. So again, apologies for anybody that doesn't like little kid noises because he's making a lot of noises today. Yeah, I see you. Here, new toy, new toy. It's like every 5 minutes I shuffle a new toy, and he's like, "Oh, what is this? I've never seen this before." But he forgets that he had it. Yeah, I'm about to put him on my lap in a second. All right, so let's dive over and go right into currencies first off. So we ended up punching through another level, and again, not it wasn't the first time it's ever hit that level. It's actually hit this level two times, and then you can see it kind of hit it a third time and pulled back. And this basing right before tells you it's going to break, and it did. It broke and went higher. So again, really, this break right here, when you see this, you're like, you're giving us an area where buyers are really starting to build support, and they did. The buyers supported it right here. Again, right before the zone came back, and again, remove this that broken level. This is basically a Harry Potter trade. Up, base, pull back, and boom, take off, and it just came down and touched it again. So really the next time we have got any real kind of decent selling is really up top here. And again, not fresh, but had some push very deeply into the zone. So I would say that 74.65 is probably the next area up top. This one gave us an immediate draw down from yesterday. Let's delete some of these off and we'll kind of move things across. Right now in this kind of sustained push, I would say, looking for kind of any hidden levels, you can see the 50% really comes back up and it's not a major area. There could have been a call, again, here on the 23.6 to get long, but the actual zone was a little bit below and we did touch it. So 23.6ers may have gotten into this trade, maybe not. As I pushed higher, we don't need this anymore. 61.8 is broken. 786, yeah, we'll just remove that for right now. Yeah, everybody hears you. Everybody hears you, buddy. He's really into his own voice now. It's so funny. Like he'll, you show him himself in a mirror, and he it's funny. He will start yelling at the baby in the mirror. Here, here, eat your hand. There you go. And he's got a tooth that's about to come through any day now, so that's also making him extra fun. But anyway, this is what we're looking at right now. Again, we are coming off this. Again, kind of makes sense why I did that. Again, 23.6 traders may or may not have gotten stopped out, but again, supply and demand traders would have gotten the entry, and you're up probably a little bit over 3 to 1. But I think this one, again, kind of fights back today, especially if the dollar is going to, maintain its weakness. But I would be looking for a reversal, and I don't. What? Now you're being too loud. Come here. Ugh. Here we go. I do think that the 74.65 is a bit of an extension. I do think that's a decent rollover point for right now. Yeah. If we do break this level, though, there is a parabolic move. So I would say for those of you that are looking to get short, kind of on a dollar, kind of reinflation, for lack of any better word, it is a rather small zone in here. It's only about 6 pips, so it's a tiny trade. But again, if you need something, I mean, you need something. I mean, it is what it is. Um, you'd be looking at something like this. And again, profit targets in this one typically are going to be taken out right there. So you got plenty of room for 1 to 3 to the downside on that one. When it finally does break, and that would be a break of 74.09. Um, and kind of an interesting spot again. Get the confirmation on this one. Actually, this is one we could probably throw on and say, hey, listen, if we break this line, um, let's look to go short. We're looking for a confirmation entry. Let's see. HP confirm short. There we go. All right. And again, all you're doing is running right back down. And really, I'd say profit target wise, 73.80. This black line is probably a better area. Also, yen. So, yeah. Yeah. 3.4. 3.4 is what I missed it by. We've been talking about this. This is a 4-hour level. Again, I mentioned that, again, they were all the same. Aussie yen, euro yen, pound yen, dollar yen. We were looking for these to kind of spike up and turn and roll, and it did. It spiked up. I missed, unfortunately, the entry on it, and it did. It pushed all the way back down again and is collapsing. I'd say, you know, I don't know that the last bit of yen weakness is in yet. I do feel that there will be another push before they intervene, but I do think that they've telegraphed this one enough now that I do think there is an interest rate intervention pop getting ready to come in for the yen, and we don't, you don't see it that often, but of all countries, I would say that Japan is probably in the time that I've traded since like '99 time frame, the central bank that intervenes the most with actual true quote interventions, not just raising interest rates, but intervening, buying, selling, trying to control the price. It's Japan. What? What's he doing? Oh, what you doing? Are you at the computer now? Um, so I do think that this is coming, and I do think they stabilize it. I do think they try to bring some yen strength back into it. It's getting to the stage where it is a little bit too weak, and again, you can't control it forever, but you can control it for a decent amount, and they haven't done it yet. So I think it's coming again. I would say Aussie yen wise, I do think that this is a little bit more reversal. The news out of the EU saying that they're looking to Australia to replace some of what they're getting from Russia, I think is great for Australia. But I still think that again, the yen, the Japanese central bank intervening, I think brings this one to the downside. Unfortunately, again, 95.77 is the level we talked about. It. We missed it by 3.5 pips. Um, and again, if we get a massive amount of strength, and I don't know if we're going to get a massive amount, but there's also a level right here that's been pushed pretty much to the very, very end with a bit of a kind of a racetrack. So, also kind of another level here that I would say that, 95.77, 94.29, both of them are decent levels, kind of on a larger scale of really retracing back down. But I need that. All right. So, as you can see, we had the 50% yesterday. We talked about this one yesterday morning. It already pushed it to the brink. It was right at the 50. So, I mean, yeah, good sell off of it yesterday. Not something we're willing to take another time. You can see that it actually based right in that same level and then punched higher. Okay, so we'll remove it now. We don't need it anymore. You can see the 61.8 kind of based right before and then punched up, and it didn't really do much there. It ended up going higher and grabbing the zone over here. Actually, the same area that these sellers came in at. I like this one more to the short side as well. I'm not really interested in many longs in this, but I really don't have many great options as far as sell areas. Um, you know, this is actually where, if you look at this, you box this candle, that's where the two touches came from. It was a little bit high. I like kind of, like I said, why? You can't be super loud up here. It will pick you up here. Take this one. New toy. New toy. Um, I think that's a decent level to look for again. By some chance, if we do rally up to the 83.36, I think that's good. But overall, I do like this one more short than I like it long. I do think more strength's coming back in. Overall targets, again, would be down all the way down here at 82.67 right now for a push to the downside. The, the hard part about this one is in 24 hours, it's only moved 15 pips. So it's not it's not a ton of movement. Yes, it did go up, and I guess this entire spike, had you caught this one, was about 40 and then retraced. But unfortunately, it missed it by just a little bit. And again, that 61.8 level, I like that one. I thought that one was pretty decent. I thought that was a hidden level. It based right at it, and I was like, oh, okay, this looks like it's going to be good. This is it, right? It's going to go. But it was at about 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was lined up for reversal, but unfortunately, it just didn't kick in for some of the data that we had coming out. So it needed to go higher, and then again, in reality, you missed this one just a little bit. So I don't really like these long. I'm just looking for shorts in this whenever we get a pop. So um, yeah, I mean, just it is what it is. I think Europe is definitely still more at risk. So I had drawn this one yesterday. I talked about this coming up. It's funny that I missed this one by an hour and a half. Okay, I missed this by an hour and a half. My draw, and it actually did come all the way down right to where the point was. I missed the point by just a little tiny bit. I drew it down to this level. Um, I missed it by 3.7 pips. All right, not too bad, not too bad. Uh, hour and a half and 3.7 pips. I almost got it. And again, when we drew it here, we were sitting right there. So I drew it higher. I probably should have said, "Listen, it's not there right now." You know, when it does hit, I should have nailed this one, and I did. I got close. But again, 139.60 was the reversal point. We had talked about a level higher, but I was looking for any basing, and the base came in right here. Late last night at about what 6:30, right? Right now, I would say again, just like the Aussie yen, I think this one is set up. There is a level of basing here as well. It's bounced off of it a few times, right? You get, oops, buddy, you can't pull that. We've already hit it here. Kind of hit it. We hit it again. I like how these lows are getting lower and smashing into the zone. There's a little bit of a kind of a pop right here, but that's the European Open, so not as worried about it as much. But just like the other one, I think there's a short position in here. Don't know when the short's going to come in. Um, yeah, I hate to say that. Listen, we have massive yen strength coming into the market. I don't think it's massive yen strength. What is that? Give it to me. Ugh, gotta love babies that put stuff in their mouth. So he was grabbing the microphone. And I was like, "Why?" I was like, "You can't pull the microphone, right?" He literally pulled the foam. That's like they use foam for sound dampening. He pulled the foam rubber piece off. I didn't realize it. I looked down on him and he kind of peeked the tip of it. I was like, "Oh my god, what's in your mouth?" I was like, "Where'd you get a grape from?" But it was the foam piece on the microphone. So, yeah, kids. Yeah, kids. This is gonna be the kid that I'm gonna call him my '80s baby. Like I feel like he's gonna be the one that rides his bike down the hill on the back. He's the one that's gonna have like a ramp, set up in the driveway with no helmet, no arm pads or anything like that. Yeah, that's gonna be this. He's gonna be the crazy one. Number 4 is the crazy one. So here, you're allowed to eat this. Here, eat this. There we go. That will help your teeth. Here, get that. Let's put some things on this one. Looks like 138 would be the number. 138.31 is the number that we're looking at for right there. Um, yeah, not much else on this one. Like I said, we know we have a larger, much larger time frame level up top, and we got some basing here, but it's kind of chopped through this one. I think this level is probably shot next time it comes through. So wait for it to come back up. But there's your trade setup for that. Euro dollar. Okay, so euro dollar, we talked about a level. It ended up basing in there, ended up breaking through it. It kind of Harry Pottered it further, and went through. You can see it kind of paused right here. It kind of did a little trick at the 50. This one just went up and went back down. So kind of a whipsaw and kind of a strange time right at that 5:30 time frame. Right, 4:30, 5 o'clock is when we based through it. So again, this was a zone that was failed, and we were really looking for it to go much higher. Whoops, there you go. He's hitting buttons. It didn't, right? It didn't. Right now, again, looking for some hidden levels. You can run fibs top to bottom. You can see the 50%. There is a level there. So this is something that will probably come and play later today. And it actually, it happens to be kind of around where we had the actual break at. Buddy, stop. I need that. No, no. Let go. Here, take the hand again. It's been 5 minutes. Look at this new toy. Here. He's like an octopus. He grabs everything. Here, here, here. Grab this. Grab this. There we go. There we go, buddy. Nope. I almost lost the keyboard there. We're back. All right. So I think that's a decent level to watch out for. Right now, we're seeing that dollar weakness comes in. It looks like that's going to continue down. If we can get down there at 10 o'clock, I think 108.15 is a potential level to bounce off of. It is a level of basing. Nice, strong push out of there, right? Great momentum. It was at 4 o'clock, European session base move. So kind of you always question it a little bit, but that's where the European market started today. But again, strong momentum out. It just has happened to be around the 50%. So anybody that any of those futures traders out there that are trying to trade the euro, That's going to be a level that they're looking for 108.15. And again, it could be a decent bounce in that pullback. And again, it'd be nice if it ran down here and then we get the dollar strength kicking at 10:30. I think it's justified, but we'll see. Here's the pound. Again, pound we talked about kind of reversal levels. We knew we had something big up at 170, but that was a monstrous level. We got the basing late last night and then just kind of kicked back. It did the same kind of reversal. It did just bounce off to 50, which again, if you look at it, you can say, well, wait a second, there is something here. And you're right, there is. It's not the best with that one kind of kick down. So it did kind of run off of that. But at the same time, again, we're seeing kind of the comments out of the yen. Everything they've said is what we've heard, and when people hear that, they're like, "Oh my God, short the yen," and that's what's providing the strength right now. So, um, I think that that level around the 50, if we touch it again, it just happens to be over here at 166.54. I think that's a decent level for the fact that it is a 50% pullback. The yen is not in a really strong position. They are going to intervene, but overall, I would say that again, the yen's in a much, or um, the pound is in a much better position, fundamentally. And at this point, eventually, everybody that saw the headline today that said, the yen is so weak, the yen is weak, it's bad, it's hurting us, we need to make all those people eventually be taken out of the market. And then I think this one has the ability to take off. Okay. Pound dollar. So pound dollar, we also had that that level here at 130. You can see late last night, right? Late last night at 11 o'clock, we tagged that 130.44. Great trade. I mean, it's over now. I mean, here's your 1 to 3 is 1 to 3 was right there. So again, blew right through it. 1, 2, 3, hit number 4 should break. It did. It went up. It grabbed the 50 and gave us another little entry. The 50 level, though, unfortunately, in this one, this is pretty choppy, right? This is you kind of got to draw the zone from like there to there, kind of. But is that a clean zone? No. It looks like one of those little hairy caterpillars, right? Wick, 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 wick. A lot of wick, and it did test. And again, that kind of is a gap from the weekend. So I would love to be able to draw this across and say, look, this was a great short. You should have grabbed this one. Look at this, Not so much. You guys should have grabbed the 130.44 late last night. Again, setting forget base trade. We had that drawn yesterday morning or yesterday at noon. That was drawn yesterday when we were down here. Okay. We talked about that being a nice pullback and nice confirmation. So again, very quick trade. That one is out. This next one, like I said, I wouldn't, you could have drawn it, but yeah, this is a hindsight is 2020 base trade. And again, it's a very fast shot down, and it's kind of where it's breaking. What I would do at this point, though, is I would look at this and move this a little bit higher and say, okay, all right, we got one more area of basing right above it. We kind of pushed down here. We kind of touched, we kind of came up and touched it. You already pulled it off. You can't pull it off again. It's not there. I didn't put it back. All the wicks in there, all the selling. If you look above this, right, this is an old trade, right? We talked about this. We had this long trade from last week, this Harry Potter. Let's pull that off so we don't confuse people. Um, what? What? Here. Get the hand again. There you go. Look at the racetrack on the way down. I'm looking at this and saying, hey, listen, the 50% traders, they're trying to get into this right now. It's not really a great level. We've already gotten, 2 pullbacks off of it, 2 shorts off of it. Could there be one more hit on this area? Absolutely. I mean, it's already hit it once and turned around. It's a decent base, right? I think price probably bounces off of it one more time, but I'm looking at this and saying, hey, listen, this is basically a reinflation trade. It was a parabolic move down. It's kind of a perfect Harry Potter setup. What? What? This is one of those ones that I definitely want to throw an alert on. I want to see when it comes through. I'd like to see the confirmation on it. Buddy. Yeah. Add an alert. Let's go Harry Potter long. Whoops. Hold on. Turn around. Here you go. Let me type. Hold on. Confirm. Whoops. Stop. Uh-oh. There we go. I was like, I'm not going to be able to get this one in. Here, take this. Here. You want this? You haven't touched this yet. Here. Here. Oh, there we go. What's that? What's that? You have no idea what that is, but that's okay. Um, I like this setup, and again, what I'm looking for is a break through the top of this one. Don't know when it's going to happen, but again, I think probably hits and bounces down lower one more time. But then again, I love how strong this was, and how there's no sellers in there at all. That should be a decent run back up into the 131 area. Dollar CAD obviously continuing to deteriorate. We talked about this one coming all the way back down to the 125. We just missed 125 by 1.5 pips. This is something that we've been talking about, and really since late last night, European session started here, and they were all looking at the CPI data and being like, "Yeah, it's going to go higher. It's going to be worse." And that's all it did. Again, the Europeans just let it roll. You can see we have a level just below it, sitting down here at 140, 124.92. And again, that'll be the profit taking coming in from this really kind of big down draw. This is the completely justified move. It should be down here at 125. The CPI data is justifying it. Following oil, also kind of reinflating it again. Um, big question is, what do we do from this 125 mark? Um, we had a Harry Potter that was successful over here. All right, let's delete these. No. Okay. This. Just trying to clean some of these up. Um, Looking at this level, you can see if we do it, again, it is confirmed. It is a test, right here, and it was a decent response off of it. So definitely a potential for a long. If we can come and base in it, though, there is potential to the downside. A little bit of an area kind of hit right here, but again, do we push back down to the 124.17? I think that's possible. We know at the 124 level we have some big numbers as well. So, you know, I think it's decent for the part that. Can I put that on the top? Oh, here we go. Top. There we go. That's even better. Um, Obviously, the 125 is going to be a big deal. I do think it reverses back because of the 10:30 time frame right now. Um, I'd like it if we can get to that 124.92 level, but what? What do you want? Here, do you want another toy? How about, let's see. Do you want this toy? Do you want this? What's this? What is this? There we go. What is that? What is that? Oh, kids are fun. All right. So, yeah, we were looking for this to come back down. I think 124.92 is where we take an official bounce off of it. It's got a little bit more room to run. I'm going to delete this because we don't necessarily need the wicks at this point. Let's see. Actually, where would we have more people coming in? Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. There. Okay. Um, Again, I like how that is nestled. Again, impulse, correction, impulse, area of sellers, 23.6 pullback. If we can come back up again, I think that's a decent run, particularly with the dollar weakness. What? What do you want? Yeah, you tell everybody. Yeah, you tell them you don't like how this is going down. Yeah. 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 One sec, guys. I'm gonna message Melissa. Okay. Guys, hold on one second. I'm gonna deliver him to mom so he can eat real quick. I'll be right back in about 30 seconds. All right, we're back. Yeah, he's got a very defined timeline. 10 o'clock is when he needs to eat, and he is unhappy. We're hoping that we could sneak him through to 10:30, but I guess not today. Anyway, 124.92. So dollar Swiss. Okay, dollar Swiss has also had a pretty decent pullback. A lot of this is coming in with the weakness that we've seen with the dollar today. We can pull both these off. Looks like I'm actually missing some numbers here. Gotta hate when that happens. Let's see. Let's pull. Yeah, this is that choppiness that we were talking about before. All right, we're gonna throw. Let's make this smaller. Let's talk about those levels up top. Let's see on a 2 hour if I can find that a little bit better. see. Yeah, unfortunately, these are kind of. I'm gonna shrink that there. We're gonna throw one here, which is not the best level. Like I said, it's been supporting the bottom side of this green candle. Touch, touch, touch. So not bad. I guess we'll use it. Right. That's what we're coming off of right now. Here, there. All right. So we broke through these two yesterday. Let's clean all these off. Don't need that guy. We're gonna leave that. That's fine. We're gonna pull that off. All right. We're gonna run fibs from high to low on that one. There. It's funny. It's a 2-hour pullback on that level. It's not enough of a bait for me. Although it's popped off of that one, I wouldn't have taken a long on that one. I actually don't like that one as a long. Um, what I'm kind of looking for is see this big push over here. Kind of down to this level here. There is a hiccup, right? There is this kind of little small pullback right there. Magically enough, that just happens to be popping in right at the 50. So I was trying to see if there was a decent short place in here, and not really. I don't really like any that pops off of it. I would say downwise target right now would be 93.76, and that's where I could be swayed that we take a reversal from that point. But it's got to hit it first, and I'd like to see a kind of a bounce off of it. Let's see top side if we're getting entries in. Yeah, it looks like if we stretch it again, probably missed an entry even on a 50. The 23.6 got blasted through. Let's see. Yeah, it's a 2.3 pip miss. So I most likely 50 percenters on that one missed out on it. Um, hmm, yeah, I don't. Unfortunately, this is just not enough volume. I was trying to see if there's a great like trying to box this one off. I mean, you can kind of probably there. That's where a majority of the price action, majority of the sellers came in. I would say, and again, I'm going to turn this one yellow is kind of like, for you, or I'll change it orange. For you aggressive traders out there, I would say that if you're really looking for something in here, there's a potential short in here. Coming off this, actually, we'll do it black so you can see it a little better. The 94.17, it is an area of basing. It's a kind of a small, it's got about 40 pips to the downside. Yeah, it dropped here, but you can see that it's definitely being supported by buyers. So 94.17 is probably where I would say that, I'd be looking for shorts. And again, this is more for kind of an aggressive entry. Wait for it to burst through. And again, from your 94.17, you're looking for it to come down to 93.76. It is a rally. It's a drive of 40 pips, which again, dollar Swiss 40 pips. That's a nice little run. So nothing horrible. Dollar yen. So dollar yen, you can kind of see this move here. Um, again, we talked about yesterday. I drew this box. I missed the box by just like the smallest bit. I missed the box by 10 pips, but again, look at this. Drew this all the way up. We were here yesterday. I was like, nah, it needs to go up just a little bit more. Look for a short, and there's your short. Um, right now, with where we are, I would say that from this first little pop back again, it looks like we're going to try to break it right now. There is a kind of a punch up to this level, right? This is a 50% level. It would have been the 50% here in the overnight, right? And really at 3 o'clock this morning is where it took off. It was an area of sellers, and let me make this bigger for you guys. There was sellers in there as a drop, a base, a drop again, draw high to low. It also happened to be the 50%. You box it off here for entry. It went like one, maybe 2 pips above the 50%. So depending on your broker, if you tried to play the 50, you probably would not have gotten entered. If you'd use this area as a zone, you can see the 1 to 3 is out fully at this point. By the way, it kind of accelerated out. I would say it's probably worth one more hit. So if you guys are looking for some type of an entry on kind of a push back up again, I'd say 128.61 is probably what we'd be looking for. So not a bad trade, but right now, the big question is what's really going to stop it to the downside. Really, not much. I mean, there's nothing here on a technical basis. This is purely going to be kind of the end at this point. Maybe the dollar gets some kind of pushback in again, but It's one of those ones. I mean, if we're looking for like a 23 entry, you can see the 23 didn't hasn't held up yet. Maybe we push down even lower, but right now the 23 is not even giving us the retracement is giving us a more of a push than the 23 is able to hold right now. So, um, and again, right now with the continued push, if this is the bottom, which I don't think it will be, but if this was the bottom, you can see that that old level of 128.64 comes back in at the 61.8. So again, based off of these two turns here, these kind of stops, there is definitely probably something in that 128.64 level. So kind of keep that on your radar. I'm kind of looking for this one to push all the way down. I'd like to see, and again, for us to bring the 78.6 in line with that range, that zone, it basically brings us back down to the 50 here, right? It would bring us over here to the 50, which I really think right now is probably where we're looking for target wise. There's not really a lot of, I mean, there's a couple buyers here, but I think right now, if you are short, I think your overall downside target in this one is 126, 126.63 to the downside. So I mean, that's a long run in one day. That's another 101 pips down. Statistically speaking, that's out of the range. But again, if they do some type of intervention or are saying we're going to intervene, an intervention is definitely worth 100 pips. So it's kind of hard to go against this one right now. But again, I think this one continues to fall down to the 126 level. And again, are they out of harm's way at 126? Not really. Not really, because the United States raises interest rates by 0.75. Again, it can easily pop over because they're not prepared for that yet. Bitcoin took a nice rally yesterday, and it's funny. Surge, nothing, surge, nothing, surge, retrace, and we're coming back down again. Again, with G20 speaking, I'm curious to see if the G20 will talk about cryptocurrencies at all globally, and regulation. Major countries, China, India, have kind of blocked and taken the negative stance on them. Russia's already said it will just bypass your sanctions using things like Bitcoin. I'm curious to see what the G20 is going to say about it, about digital currencies, and coming out, or if it's going to be purely about inflation. Um, Ethereum is actually about to turn red. It's already done its retracement. Dogecoin is already in the red. It's already retraced back down again. So it looks like Bitcoin will be next. Question is, do we drop under 40? Bonds actually appear to be creeping up a little bit today, which means again, bonds creeping higher. Indices are kind of like, it's like oh, the market's down. Okay, we should go back in the bonds. What should we do here? Bonds are mixed, and again, a lot of this is probably going to be the Netflix thing for NQ, and that's dragging us around. Um, is this the bottom for TLT? No. Bonds will continue to deteriorate, especially when they raise the interest rate. So I think there's more to come in that one. It's 10-12. Let's see what we got with CL. Let's see. Okay, it has started to push lower, which is good. Question is, how much lower can we get? So looks like that one from the open push down. I love this. We're supposed to have a big surplus, and the market is collapsing. So we push through that level, getting close to that one right there. The question is, can we get down to this 50? That would be, I don't know that we can do that, but maybe we got 12 minutes to go. Can we get maybe a little bit far? Maybe. This zone is actually here, so we'll see if this one is actually broken yet. Let's drop it down to a 5. Yeah, that one's still good there. That one's still good. Let's drop it down to a 50. Hmm. Adjust it just a little bit. So right now, the way that it looks right now, with it collapsing down again, I have to say it looks. Let's see, 1, 2. This would be hit number 4. Not ready to make the call yet, but right now it's looking like it's more of a long type trade today, right? Again, with the pullback in the U.S. session, it is odd that the European market did nothing with it, right? European market really did nothing with the news today. But right now, I would say that it is looking like more of a long opportunity for oil. Again, it is a little bit early. It's only 10:13, so we'll come back to it. Um, Natural gas is continuing to click down. We're looking for this to go punch higher. And again, we talked about the lows on this one. So it looks like right now, and again, it gave us that little hiccup there and a pullback. Again, maybe this is the 5 minute. Let's go back down to 15. It's fine. Yeah, it looks like we're punching through. So this is pretty decent. I'm good with this. Let's see, is there a headline for natural gas? Ooh. Wow, they slipped 2.7. That's a lot. Dover's guidance for the yen. Companies shouldn't pay for Russian energy in rubles. Uh, let's see. Yeah, Germany, of course. They shouldn't pay. I love this. I love this. This is reading it. Companies shouldn't pay for Russian energy in rubles. Why? Why is that? Why should that be? If you're buying a Russian commodity, why should you not pay in Russian currency? I mean, you won't allow them to pay in dollars, so are you just going to take it for free? Um, can end Russian coal, oil independence faster than gas. Okay. It's crucial to hurt Russia's war chest more than ourselves. Okay, but all right, sure. Um, you know the funny thing about this, I love the name. It's important to hurt his war chest. Um, the Vatican said that they will take it in rubles. India, they've said that they'll take it in other currencies, and so did China. There's more people in China and India than there are in Germany. So yeah, companies shouldn't. I love this. They shouldn't pay for it in rubles. Shouldn't and won't are two different words. The Russian dollar, the euro energy contracts must be honored. Um, why? If you won't let him use euros and dollars, how is he going to do that? I don't know. I love these posts. To me, this is just an egotistical German comment that we shouldn't have to pay in rubles. Why? You're buying they're buying you're buying their stuff. You should pay it in whatever you want. And again, yeah, there's contracts, but you've also told them that they can't use euros and dollars, and you've eliminated them from that system. You've literally stolen their money in their bank accounts, and yet you want them to honor contracts in euros. Right. I honestly, I hope they turn it off. It's like, this is ridiculous. Turn it off. Just turn the gas off. Be like, you know what? You want to screw with us? Turn it off. You deserve it at this point. I hate this stuff. This is like, I'm going to be a bully. Yeah. And again, I don't support Russia whatsoever, but comments like that, just stupid. You're buying commodities from them. You should pay in whatever way and say thank you. That's the way that it works. You know. All right, there's natural gas, gold. So gold took a big drop from yesterday, as it should. Gold has stabilized itself a little bit right now on the 15. We put it back on a 30 right now. You can see it pulled back to the 23.6 in that kind of overnight down. It didn't breach 2,000. It got super, super close. It's funny. We're like talking about breaking through 2,000. We're like, we're so close. We're right there. And now we're all the way on the opposite end of the spectrum. We're like, oh my God, we're all the way back down here at 1940. What happened? We're closer. Are we gonna break 1900? It's amazing how fast. And again, 1, 2, 3. It sliced through that thing like butter. Unfortunately, it never came back up and gave us the entry. It did come back up, but we didn't get the 1962. So again, had you taken the aggressive entry and not waited for the confirmation, you were golden. Sometimes being bold and not waiting for the confirmation is the way to go. Again, I tend to, for me personally, I tend to go on the more conservative side of things. It went down and it kind of, again, it ran into the buyers right here. Kind of the same thing how we talked about 4. Well, guess what? There's your 1, there's your 2, there's your 3, and there's your 4 now. So will it hold next time it comes to 1940? I don't think so. We are at the 23.6. The question is now, is this 1030? I mean, it's not really a reversal, right? It's not really a reversal. I mean, I guess maybe it is because, if it's pushed up in the morning, right? If we've gone up from the European session up, we did have kind of the profit taking coming in. If we've reversed now from the morning trend, because again, higher highs, higher lows, that continues pushing us lower. Where do we stop? Again, we shouldn't be able to support there. It looks like the next time that we'll have any type of support is down here at 1928, so another $10 lower than what this morning's push was. And again, there's a couple levels a little bit lower. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what the G20 says. Like I said, any comments about the world, recession, um, market crashes, that kind of stuff. I mean, none of these are really, great positive, terminology for gold. So, you know, gold and silver, I think, are both kind of, have the ability to go down today. Silver is still red, but just barely. They're trying to figure out what's happening. I just want to say on this one, we were sitting right here when I drew this one. And look at that. I literally drove that all the way down perfectly. I haven't moved this since yesterday. I don't touch these charts except when we're in live broadcasts for trading view anyway. Look at that. Drove it right down perfectly, bounced off the 28 24.85. I think that same level needs to be respected again. And again, we talked about how it was a little bit shy, but we'll see it roll. That's the level we're looking at right now. Kind of similar to gold. We come up to this level. That level is sitting there right at 25, 25, 23. Could that be a roll? Yeah, 1030. It absolutely could be. But I'm going to say but. Okay. If we take a look, and again, this is on the 30-minute, this is a very strong push down, and there's a little bit of pullbacks in here, right? A little bit of pullbacks, and again, now you'd have to extend this further. Um, I'd say right now, I mean, again, the fibs don't even matter to me. I'm not. There's a little wick over wick, but I'm not really concerned about that one. I'm gonna make it cleaner, and again, I'm gonna leave my arrow because I was dead on for where it was gonna hit. Um, I would say right now, this is a parabolic retracement slash Harry Potter entry for this one, right? This gives us the ability to go long from this one. If not if, but like when we get the break, right? 1 to 3 is only right there. That's not even I mean, all the way up to full profit target, you're talking about a 1 to 8, right? A 1 to 3 is only sitting right there. So not a bad trade if we can break through. I mean, it has pushed it literally to the brink right there, right? There's only a little tiny bit left. If we punch through, again, what this is a takeoff of what, 25.30, right? Can we go from 25.30 to 25.50 in silver? I think so, right? Just because there's no sellers here. There's nothing really confirmed until we get all the way back up top to that 26 range. So, like I said, drew this one down. Does it deserve to go up? Not really, but again, until we get an official stance, there's still money to be made to the top side. So I think it's a decent run here. Let's go check oil again. Yeah, oil's it's holding in this zone. Again, it's kind of pushed there. Let's see, this is a 30-minute. Let's drop it down to a 5. It's trying, but it's basically cleared our way up top. If we start to get buyers in here, it's trying. Man, if this level could hold, it looks like it's set more for long. I'm wondering though, we got 9 minutes. Can it try to make one more single candle push into that orange zone? Wondering. It's there. We don't have the stabilization yet. That's kind of what I'm watching for. We kind of got it right there. Kind of. That 10:05 is a little bit early. I like for it to just stop. If it flatlines right now, that's what we're looking for, right? For that long. It's trying. I don't know. Can we get one more push? Like, if we get one more push in the orange, I'd love this for long. It's like, yeah. I mean, that's how it's set right now. So, we'll stop back at 2 minutes. Let's look at VIX. So VIX creeping up a little bit. This is a 5-minute. Again, we'll look at this on the 15. Little bit of a creep up. Not horrible. Again, I don't think that it maintains. I think it has the ability to roll back down. Besides these stupid comments out of Germany, um, dovish guidance. Yeah, we got that. ECB hikes depend on the economic data. Great. Inflation not returning. We already knew that. Yeah, we haven't seen other headlines. And again, this is, what was it supposed to be? It dips 2.7% from February, season adjusted. Overall sales fell 4.5%. Housing market's starting to feel what? Where is it? Still, homes are selling rapidly, and home price gains remain in double digits. With mortgage rates expected to rise further, Young predicts transactions to contract by 10% this year, for home prices to readjust, and for gains to grow only 5%. So, not bad. So it's not horrible data. Like I said, I think a lot of people didn't move when we were locked down, and we're just trying to play catch up for it still. So it's up a little bit. Yeah. So home prices are still moving, and again, I mean, I think it's kind of justified with everything else up as much as it is. It makes sense that home prices go up as well. So yeah, we'll see. ES. So looks like ES gave us a little bit of a fake out. We were looking for kind of a punch off this level. Looks like the 930, yeah, the 930 short went in. So again, we talked about this top level being here, ready to go. And again, nice short down. The pullback, though, unfortunately, the pullback got stopped out. So the 930, again, this is, we'll throw this up here. This was from the Nadex session this morning. 1 to 3 is right there. Oh, you can see that right down. So yeah, so it looks like the opening print, again, there's one coming from that level. We had talked about it. Again, we were bouncing off of it. So the opening short on ES was good. Um, I think ES has the ability. I want to say that the ES has the ability to go higher today. I think a lot of it's going to depend on if we get any data out of G20 or any headlines. Um, you can see right now the 50% really kind of got chopped up. I'll remove this. This trade is out, so we're 1-1 so far. It hit it, but it blew through and had to use the 61.8. Came back up again, dropped down to grab the 61.8 a second time, and then pushed back up to the 23.6. There's not really a lot in either of those areas. Right now, we're more or less kind of, we opened just above. We're not that much different. It's just slightly down from where we opened. I wouldn't say that this is really a trending thing today. Obviously, NQ, we know why NQ is having problems. The ES being completely flat right now, I'd say that this to me right now, if it had, I mean, if it at 10:30, if it cannot get a nice jump higher, I think this one comes down and ends up at 44.40 today. I think that this is our downside profit target. If we cannot hold right now, I think this is our line in the sand. There's no other news this morning. If this is our top, I mean, I think that's it. I think again we push to the downside today. In reality, with the VIX being down 3%, it should be going higher. But again, it ran into a level up top of sellers, got slammed down, and then again the 50% got blown up. So we don't even really need the 50. I guess I'll hold it there because the 618 held it. I don't care about the 78.6. It's not really important to me. But I will pull this level off as it did get broken to the downside. So again, the opening trade this morning, if you're looking at the 15-minute charts, this was a great little call spread for the open today. But right now, I'm really leaning towards this one's coming down, and I think my downside profit target of this one is going to be down here at 44.41. Okay. NQ. Same thing. We talked about NQ as an area of sellers. We expected NQ to have problems. There was our 9 o'clock for Nadex. And obviously, I mean, I'll draw it, but this one is obviously well past the 1 to 3. The 1 to 3 is right there. And you can see that we talked about a level coming down to 14,073. And it did. That was our 50% fib target. It did, and it kind of broke it just by a little bit. But that would have been our target off the original entry more than anything else. And the question is, are we stabilized now? Is 1030? Again, this is our reversal time. This is the only one down at the moment. Are we going to reverse back up again? And I would say that of any of them, it's fighting, it's holding. It didn't. There's not a whole lot of people up top. I would say that this one probably has more of the ability to go higher, as all the Netflix data and everything else is cycled in. It's like, yeah, it's not the end of the world because, of course, yeah, Netflix. It's not the world's not dying. It's just they're going out and leaving their homes and spending it elsewhere. So it's okay. I would say that this one is more of a long. And again, it would have been target first and confirmation. As it sliced through, there's your target. Once it came up in base and pulled back, it's more of a long target now. So again, 2 for 2 for the opening base trades today. YM, okay. YM, let's see what do we got. Where's our 9? This one was a little bit choppier. We didn't actually draw much on the top side because we said, hey, listen, this is what we're dealing with. This whole area here. This would have been the last kind of actual trade setup. So let's drag that across. I don't think that's what it went off of. I don't think it went that high yet. No. So you can see we're dealing with all this right now. So there's not really wasn't really a great level for us to take anything off of. So, let's see, 9:15, yeah, 9:30 popped up. It didn't hit. So we're 2 for 3. YM would not have given us an entry today. And again, YM has every reason because remember, if you're not spending it online, you're spending it elsewhere, which rolls more into the Dow's kind of playground. So as NQ continues to deteriorate, the Dow should jump back up again. I'd look for reversals in this one up here at 35,000. 256 or 254. Again, that would be our upside target, but no entry at the open today in this one. I mean, I guess if you were really looking to go long, you could have played the red pullback down into this level of basing, right? This is kind of an afterthought of it, but it would not have been the opening 15 minutes. So, um, yeah, well, of course Netflix raised their prices. Of course they did, Sean. I mean, if everybody else in the world is raising their prices, why can't Netflix? I mean, if you're willing to spend $4.50, or poor Marina out there spending, $6 a gallon for gas, why wouldn't Netflix raise their prices $1? Right? I mean, and here's why too, Sean. If I'm not gonna watch movies online, you're gonna go to a movie theater. What is food inflation right now? Right? The dollar store is now the $1.25 store, right? So if you take candy and popcorn and peanuts and soda at a movie theater, is it more than the $1 you're going to pay for Netflix? Of course. So I'll raise Netflix $1. Nobody, no, it's $1. That's not why people quit. People quit because they're leaving their houses now. And Netflix, it's easy to binge watch everything on Netflix and then be like, all right, what's coming next? You know, we kind of have a lull right now in new shows. So, and again, Disney Plus, their subscriptions were down too. I would absolutely cancel my Disney Plus subscription. I have it right now, but my daughter's kind of not into monsters and stuff like that as much as she was before. So it's kind of like I'll wait for Star Wars till the end of the season. I'll pay them up for a month. I'll binge watch all of whatever the current Star Wars content is, and then be done, and then cancel it again. Um, it's just not worth keeping it. You know, it's just not worth. Down with Disney. It's just not worth it. you know, um, like the entire next generation, the entire next round of Marvel, I have zero interest in any of it. None. Like I don't know. It's kind of like the same thing. Like if you turn like I'm all for different characters, but like when you have to rewrite every character into the political hot buttons, it's just no longer for me. I just don't care. Like I don't understand why every new Marvel character is very very wimpy. They got to turn them all like every one of them has to be, every liberal hot button they have to like satisfy. I'm like, why? Just can you just leave them the way that they were? Like that's what made them great. And now you're gonna. It's the same thing. Let's take Star Wars and let's completely screw Star Wars around. Right? It's the same thing. All right. Let's see what oil is. Let's see where it is. What was the actual reading today? Wow! Look at that. That's quite a difference. That's a minus 11 million thing, right? Yeah, right. And like I said, I mean, and again, I don't want to turn this into like a right versus left thing, but why does every single new superhero that they're coming out with, why is every single one of them female? Right? I mean, I'm cool with it. I was off. I mean, I'm like next gen Hawkeye. I'm cool with that, except that was the dumbest show ever. Like the new character, why does she got to be so goofy and everything? Like can't like Hawkeye is his own kind of like mysteriousness. So let's turn into a weird teenager, right? Miss Marvel, I think they messed that movie up. I think it was bad. The Eternals, absolutely horrible, right? Like now we have She-Hulk, and then that was an interesting storyline. But to make her more powerful than the original Hulk, you basically say, "Oh, you know what? All your old superheroes you love, they're all garbage. They're crap. They were so weak." It's like, all right, how do you? It's the same thing that they try to do with Star Wars, and that's why they're redoing the last three movies because they did the same exact thing. It's like, guys, you didn't learn your lesson from the first time you did it, and everybody hated it. Like, I don't understand. You know. So I don't know. And like I said, I have no problems with men, women, whatever. Like I think they got some really cool Like in all honesty, guys, Piper. I, th- I mean, in Infinity Wars, Piper was my actually favorite. Like when she was in the Iron Man suit, I'm like, you know what? I would absolutely watch. I would absolutely watch an Iron Man where Piper took over. Like she was bad. I loved it. I thought that was awesome. I'm like, man, she's a beast in this suit. Like this is like that would make sense, right? But instead, it's her daughter, and then there's a new Spider-Man that's a girl, and then the Black Panther's a girl. Like every single new superhero now is a girl. I don't get it. Makes no sense to me. A lot of bait and switch with Disney. Absolutely, Neuro. 100% bait and switch. So, huge number, 11 million barrel miss. See, I'm telling you, forecasted by monkeys, right? Let's see what oil did. There's your pop, and you were out already. So, yeah, huge miss. So, again, the immediate drive down, it means that somebody knew the number ahead of time, right? And you've already popped up and you've already come up to your profit target. So it doesn't show it here, but like I'm off a little bit on the draw. But yeah, so there you go. The best version of Miss Marvel was the animated version. Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I couldn't get into the Miss Marvel movie. Um, I have a friend that I didn't read comic books as a kid. I was like a sports kid. I was outside playing hockey and soccer and not, soccer was one teams, but I played a lot of street hockey, a lot of games with my friends. I didn't read comic books. I hated reading as a kid, so I didn't really do it. I have a friend that I always talk to about comic books. Um, Miss Marvel supposedly like this super. I mean, she's more powerful than any character. Like technically, I guess she could have beaten Thanos all by herself, right? But they dwindled her power down and all this other stuff. It's like I don't know, like it's whatever. So anyway, there's where your seal is today. Let's go ahead and do our drawing. That was the last of the charts today. Where is it? I have it over here. Boom, right there. All right. So 7 of you are in. Sean won yesterday. So Sean is going for, it's a 50 pip tip drawing today because it's Wednesday. Sean's going for 100 because it is number 2 for him. We have 7 in, so we're missing somebody. We're missing Eki. Eki's not here today. Yeah, Neuro, 100%. 100%. Kind of the same thing, right? I like the prequels. I'm gonna give you guys 30 seconds more to get in this one. I like the prequels for Star Wars a lot. A lot of people hate them. I actually like them a lot. I thought they were the grand views. Like Mandalorian was okay, but literally it was shot in a warehouse, and you can tell that it was shot inside of a warehouse. I love the grand. I don't mind the CGI. I love the huge battles. That's what Star Wars and stuff like that should be about. Um, no problems with Hayden Christensen as a person, but I thought he was a horrible Anakin. There's no way Padme is going to fall in love with a guy that's that whiny and complainy. There's no way. I mean, in what world does the guy that whines and complains that much get the girl? Zero. None. Right? So, loved him. I loved Anakin in the animated series, but he was so whiny. And I don't know if they made him like that on purpose, but I hated it. All right, closing the drawing down. Winner of today's drawing is Will. Man, Will, well, I don't know what it was, man. You went on like a streak where you didn't win for like a year, and now you're like, phew, this year you've been smashing it. Like, it's amazing. Like, this is crazy. I know it's all statistics. It all comes back to it and everything, but man, you're just crushing it this year. But yeah, speaking of crushing, look at this, man. 2.5 to -4, and the reality was 3 to -8. So man, we are you. Look, Netflix is negative. We're using all the oil up. So congrats. What's up? No, yeah, I know exactly, Debbie. Right? All right, guys. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. You guys have a great trading day today. Enjoy the weather if it's nice. It's back up in the 60s again. It was like 40 and wind chill yesterday. It's supposed to be 70 tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to it. You guys have a good trading day. You need anything, I will be around today. Shoot me a message on Discord, and I'll catch you later. Take care.